Alright guys, time for a quick shave. 550, 60? Yeah, 567. 10, 20, 30, 40. Wait. This is 300, 400, 500, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70? Am I on 500 and... Anyway, maybe my brain was just so fried because I thought I was on 560 something, but all during this time, the title of the video, the description of the video should contain the right number. But these dots, I don't think I've been putting dots too often. 70 something. Well, that might be right. I don't know. I'll have to check into that. Well, Chiseled Face, Midnight Stag, soap, splash, and cologne for the month of August. B13 knot has been soaking for a while. You can probably tell it's not too jelly. They're just kind of naturally soft, and that's kind of perfectly what I like. They have been treated, but this batch just not quite treated as heavily as some, so they don't actually get jelly. They don't really hook when they dry. That's another symptom of a really jelly knot. The razor, as always, is the Timeless Open Comb Stainless Steel 68 Gap razor with the knurled handle. Show you the Nacet blade. Down here in this corner, you'll probably see the bent deflection of the light there because that was bent. Up here, just next to the post, you'll see an N, and down here you'll see a 1 that I etched in just kind of for identification purposes. That's funny. Have I somehow jumped to another 10 space on my usage and I just don't know about it? That would be crazy. Alright, I was just so curious. I had to go look at my computer. It's that whole thing where, you know, this first grouping is 10. And so the 10 is after the first grouping. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So 60 all the way down to here. And so 66 is prior to this shave. So that was just me being inclusive when I should have been exclusive kind of thing. Well, you know, one of those off by 1 errors, except it was by the 10s instead of the 1s. If you're into computers programming, then you heard of off by 1 errors. All right. So we got that cleared up. The count is correct. 567 is today's shave. And likely the last use of the vintage older bottle of Midnight Stag Splash. And over somewhere I've got the new one. Is it right here? Yes, yes. And I've actually got another one. See, they changed the shape of the bottle. And I actually like this bottle shape a little better. But I have another Splash that has this label design, this newer label, but it's this shaped bottle. But anyway, very good. Very good. This will be the one we use after tonight, probably. So we are nearing the end of the month, and I just do not have a problem using this stuff every day of the month. I don't use it too much the rest of the year. I would actually, but I've just got such a big soap collection that I save my Midnight Stag use generally for the month of August. Get my face wet. Okay, the razor's loaded up. What are we going to do today? Let's do a slurry lather. Let's kind of be fast and hurried today. I need to get to sleep. I didn't need to shake all that out. We're just gonna, not even gonna count for you. Just gonna wait until we kind of get some suds going there. And then I'm gonna tip over the tub here into my bowl so that I don't waste that nice, slick, wet water that's in there. And then we'll just go right to my face. And that's a nice, other brushes that aren't as dense would have your slurry come together a little quicker, but that's okay. And that's all we have to do. We can shave with that because it's super, super slick somehow. My theory is that the soap molecules, since they're not evenly dispersed throughout the thickness of the lather yet, I believe that they have been placed on my skin first, because after all, we went from loading right onto my face. We didn't mix anything up in the bowl. And so I believe that this method lays down those molecules right on your skin. And then of course it kind of drowns them in water. And that's kind of a good recipe apparently. And there we go, first pass. Splash a little bit of water. Not a lot of slickness came out of that first pass. Post at the end of, right now when I was looking at it, but that's okay. Lay down another bit of slurry. And I called it a slurry just because it's I still can't come up with a better term. Can't think of a better term. But a slurry is when you've kind of got a suspension of particles in water. To my knowledge, that's what it is, and that's what it seems like the soap is doing in this method during the first few shaves before the lather starts to come together. And that is the core difference between this method and other methods, both my typical bowl lathering method and this one. I'm sorry, and the face lathering method that I've shown you guys before. Did I get everything? I think so, yeah. Splash of water. Now I can feel that slickness start to build up. Both the face lathering and the traditional bowl lathering kind of have you putting the lather together in a more mature fashion before you really start shaving. And that's the opposite of this. And you'll notice as I go on, what's on my face becomes creamier and creamier, thicker and thicker. And so by the end, you almost always get to that nice, mature lather that you want to experience. But this saves time because you're you're not having to generate and mix up the lather to completion. It turns out that the lather on its way to completion, as long as you've got a lot of water in it, as long as it's those soap particles floating around in some water and not too dry, which this never is, then it turns out it's super slick. And this is pretty much compatible with every base I've tried. Old school things like Tobacco and Mitchell's Wool Fat and Williams and all the newer artisans, Hub City, and then all the ones that have been around for several years, like Barrister and Man and Mammoth and School something. Summer Break, yeah. Summer Break, Declaration Grooming. Have I tried Katie's Bubbles? That's a vegan one. I think I have, but I need to check my list with that one. I've tried the Dr. John's, but that's a company that's closed down now. But that's just to say that it works with vegan soaps as well. I tried the full glycerin soaps from Colonel Conk. I've tried Cella. I don't think I've tried like something a lot older like LA Shaving Soap Company. Sterling, of course, I've tried them. A bunch of those. And of course the sheep tallow works even better. Anything I'm missing? Oh, Southern Witchcrafts, Moon Soaps, Seaforth. I got kind of a pile of tubs down here to kind of remind me of ones that I've tried. Master Soap Creations, Black Ship Grooming, the different formulations of Barrister and Man, like the Glissant, the Omnibus, the all of them work really well with this method. And how are we doing? Yeah, I think we're good. That's it. Give it a good rinse. And I still have plenty of lather right here. And here's the strength of this method comes against the face lathering method of putting the paste on your face and then continuing to add water to it to get it to where you want it to be, and then you start your shave. Okay, this leaves you with more soap at the end of the shave. That other method I just talked about can have a lot of that mature lather that you've worked to make up just drop off your face and go down the drain. But this one, it kind of keeps some soap concentrate in the brush, because as I told you in the first couple of passes, the slurry consists of that concentrated soap with just a bunch of water around it. And so you keep that concentrate in the brush, kind of as a reservoir, and then it just gradually becomes more available as lather as the passes go on. And so then the brush becomes something that transfers that lather very efficiently from each pass to the next, so you're not likely to run out by the even at like the end of a 5-pass shave. I've still got some good lather left if I want it. Now, you know what? We can do a squeeze here. Yeah, look at all that good stuff. And see, some of it's a little on the drier side, and some of it's very wet, and that's because of what I was telling you. It's not fully formed yet. It's not fully homogeneous. It's not fully integrated together, the soap and the water. And you can use this method and not have it be quick. If you just want to take your time with it, spend more time on that first pass. And so you can actually have a mature lather by pass 2 if you just want to take longer in the passes. Enjoy the lather, enjoy the brush, that sort of thing. But this method is just especially useful when you just have a few minutes. And see, like we're at 15 minutes, and I'm taking my time, and I just finished talking to you a bunch, and I did 5 passes. So it can be very quick if you want it to be, but it doesn't have to be. This brush, you saw me shake a good bit of water out of it. Normally with a slurry lather, you want to start with a lot of water in the brush. But this one, I can shake out that much because it's a 28 millimeter knot. It holds a lot of water. And so even though you saw me shake out quite a bit, it still was able to hold on plenty for the shave. I did not have to go back and add any more water at all. So big knots can hold plenty of water. If that was a boar brush that was maybe 24 millimeter, or less, then I would have had to add more water if I had shaken out as much as you saw me do with this one. So I can strop it up and down on the towel, remove some standing water, open it up to leave room to breathe, and there we go. Now it's time for the death, the kill of the venerable. There's so little in there that, the little restrictor thing is actually preventing it from the last few drops from coming out. So that means, let me hunt around and see if I can pop this top. Okay, there we go. Here's the little plastic guy that you do need, because otherwise the aftershave would just pour out. You'd have to be really careful with it. There are a few around that don't have this kind of thing, but now I can get a single serving, the last serving, and there we go. I don't think I've actually killed an aftershave. I've killed, prior to this, I've killed a couple of pucks of Williams soap because I wanted to see how far one puck of Williams would go. It was either 60 or 120 shaves. Don't remember. But I don't know what I want to do with this bottle now. I kind of feel like I want to keep it. Remember it. Use it for something. I guess I could use it for if I wanted to take another aftershave, like an alcohol aftershave like this Fine Accoutrements Platinum. That's very alcohol-y. And if I wanted to mix it with some witch hazel, which would make for a very skin foody type aftershave. And this is already, Chiseled Face already does that with theirs. It's already got some good ingredients in it. Fine does not. It's pretty much just alcohol and fragrance that I know of. And so with the one like Fine, then this bottle could contain the mix of skin food, healthy witch hazel with the alcohol splash. So maybe I could use it for that. Something like that. All right. The brush is clean. The bowl is clean. The razor is now loosened up and rinsed. Set him there to dry. Oh, and let's not forget the Chiseled Face Midnight Stag cologne. How are we doing on that? Oh, look. We're down to 1/3 of a bottle. It's definitely going to last me until the end of the month, for sure. And it might even last till next August as well, because, I mean, one spray is all most people need. But I may want to start saving up for another bottle. All right. I'll put the dot on the card Thank you for being patient, as some of you were probably thinking as I was kind of freaking out about the number of dots on the card and thinking, is 70 something? Is that where I am? You were probably thinking, no, no, no. The 10 starts at the end of the first grouping and not at the top, and you're just ahead of yourself a little bit. You were probably ahead of me there, and it took me a minute to catch up, so thank you. All right, well, this is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Thanks so much for following along with me this August. Good night.